Hello, people of the internet. This is Shaky Jake, and I really need a catchphrase. You are watching Aladdin, or Aladdin, or however you want to pronounce his name. Lately I've been calling him Aladdin, but we all know it's Aladdin. This, as I said last year on my channel when I played The Lion King, approximately a year ago, there were two games that I played as a kid that introduced me to the whole concept of playing video games, and they were Aladdin and The Lion King. And to celebrate the fact that this particular channel is over a year old by this point, I decided to play Aladdin to celebrate this little known fact that nobody but me cares about. So press any key and we have to locate page number 8, paragraph 6 and word number 6, but we're not going to do any of that, so I'm just going to press E because it says press any key. Okay, so we've got a whole new world playing from the Aladdin film, naturally. This is another Virgin Interactive game, which at the time Virgin had a lot of involvement with Disney games. So I'm just going to quickly redefine the keys a second. This is suitable, yes. Difficulty, we are going to go for normal as opposed to hard, like I did with The Lion King. And there's a couple of reasons for that, which I'll explain after this. I'm amazed there's actual vocal samples in the this particular version of Aladdin. So we're playing on the normal difficulty for a number of reasons. Mainly because I can get to the last level on the hardest difficulty. But annoyingly, Aladdin is so brutal to play, and I don't want to stress myself out dying constantly because hard is brutal on Aladdin. So we're sticking with normal. And yeah, we're going to start the game and just get straight into it. There's all the information about what we need to know about the game. I'm not going to read any of the plot out because these screens go far too quick for me to narrate, annoyingly. But again, I guess the developers assumed you'd watched Aladdin countless number of times before you played the game. For those of you that don't know, this is the PC/MS-DOS version of Aladdin, which is heavily based off the Mega Drive version of the game, but with a couple of changes made to the actual UI primarily, and there's a couple of upgrades to the soundtrack and a few other aspects. So let's begin. So this is Aladdin. Relatively straightforward stuff for the first level. And the only differences with regards to the difficulty settings is how much health you lose and when you get hit, and how many apples you start off with, as well as how many lives. Other than that, the game is pretty much the same. But playing this on the hardest difficulty is absolutely ridiculous, so that's why I'm playing it on normal as opposed to hard. But I am getting incredibly nostalgic because this was one of the first games I ever played as a kid, alongside The Lion King, as I explained this time last year when I played The Lion King. And it was inevitable I was going to play Aladdin at some point, let's be honest. But this version of the game, yes, it's the PC and MS-DOS version, but I got this on Good Old Games last year in a bundle with The Lion King and The Jungle Book, which, you know, was pretty good going. I think they were a couple of pounds off, or maybe I bought them full price. I can't remember at this point. But yeah, there is a bit of screen tearing with Aladdin, unfortunately. I can't really do much to fix that. I'm sure I could mess around with VSync and prevent it from happening, but the more you look at it and the more you play it, the less noticeable it is. So let's see if I can kill this guy. There we go. When I was a kid, I played this level a lot for various reasons, because I'm pretty sure when I first played this, I only got up to about level 3 before I got stuck. And then as I got older, I got further and was able to beat the game. I'm pretty sure I never played it on the hardest difficulty though, back then. Probably only played it on easy or normal. So, what else is there to say? I haven't actually watched Aladdin in absolutely ages. It's a great film, don't get me wrong, and let me just concentrate to try and make this jump. Oh, we did it. Good. So, there's some nice secrets up here, but this jump is really difficult to make. And, yeah, be careful of getting hit. It's really easy to take damage in this game. I mean, looking back, I'm probably a bit of a Mensa member when it comes to the Lion King game. With Aladdin, whilst I've played it a lot, I'm nowhere near as good at Aladdin as I am with the Lion King. So we've got to take our time. Now, this peddler character, who's meant to be the genie, from what I remember, it's implied the peddler is the genie. What you can do with your gems, and at the moment I've got 9 of them, you can actually buy more lives, or you can buy a wish, and the wish essentially represents a continue if you get game over. And we're not going to buy these for quite a while because I want to save my gems up until I need them. So let's just carry on. Please don't make me regret that later on. And that's the first level done. And then we've got a bit of a mini game where we have to try and get more stuff as opposed to hitting Jafar. Because if we hit Jafar, it skips all of the 5 genie heads we've got. So, gem, awesome. Another gem, another gem, another gem. I'm actually getting quite lucky. Usually I hit Jafar. Bonus level is Abu and Agrabah. So we basically play as Abu, the monkey from the film. And we have to dodge stuff here. So nothing too taxing at the moment. Okay, pick up the gem. I usually don't do very well at these bonus stages because they are actually quite difficult. Like that. Oh man. Can I grab the life? No, I didn't because I ran into the dude. Yeah, nice try. I'm not surprised there. Yep, that ancient beggar totally isn't Jafar. But yeah, I haven't seen Aladdin in absolutely years. It's a fantastic film. One of my favourite Disney films, incidentally. It's probably my 3rd or 4th favourite Disney film ever made. Because we got The Lion King first, then Beauty and the Beast, and then I can't decide if Aladdin or Tarzan would be 3rd. I mean, realistically, I should say Aladdin, but I have a lot of time for Tarzan, when most people don't, particularly. So this level is quite fun. It's actually, in some ways, easier than the first level, but it's unique at the same time. Oh, and if I backtrack a second, I know Mickey Mouse ears here. Quite funny. Moving on. There are actually quite a number of Easter eggs in this game that are tied into Disney lore. It's quite funny. Almost didn't make that jump then. And there's a stop sign here for some reason. Interesting. And I am playing a little bit recklessly at the moment. I forgot I'm on an easier difficulty, because if this was difficult, or if this was on the hardest difficulty, I'd probably be dead by now. So yeah, once you get 99 of either apples or gems, you can't get any more. So I don't know why I'm bothering collecting these other than the points. Let's throw some apples at these guys. Those bigger guards are actually the hardest to take out as well. Black lamp will kill enemies nearby. Oh, nice bit of dodging there from me, if I do say so myself. So the PC MS-DOS version of Aladdin is heavily based on the Mega Drive version, with several noticeable differences, mainly the UI at the top of the screen. And I know that a lot of people debate whether the DOS version is actually worth playing, and it's mixed as to whether this version is considered good or bad. And there you go, some more Disney tie-ins there with Goofy on the pillar. But yeah, a lot of people debate whether this version's any good. I personally don't mind it, although I can see the weaknesses in it now. Okay, we still don't need to buy anything, so let's move on. I do need to re-watch Aladdin again though, because I've missed not watching it. And it's primarily because of what Robin Williams' performance in the film. It's fantastic. It's one of his... Oh, there's a secret area there. Didn't know that. But yeah, Aladdin has one of Robin Williams' best performances ever in any film. And it's ridiculous how good he is in it. He pretty much steals the show. If anybody else had done that role, it probably wouldn't have been as good as it was. And it's weird because I am looking forward to the Guy Ritchie live action remake that's happening for Aladdin, which is coming out next year. But I am dubious about certain aspects of it, and I'll explain why once I've got past this. Oh yeah, that was terrible. So the Guy Ritchie version of Aladdin, I imagine it's going to be a good film. It's Guy Ritchie. This is the same guy who directed you know, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, which is an amazing film, and Snatch, which is even better in my opinion. I love Snatch. But the Aladdin live action remake is going to be a tough sell for me, in the same way that The Lion King is going to be a tough sell for me. I wasn't too fond of the Beauty and the Beast live action remake. It was okay, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't great. But the Jungle Book live action remake I loved, and in many ways I prefer that to the original Jungle Book, so what do I know. Now if you destroy these pots you can find some hidden gems, which is fantastic, because we need all the gems that we can get. And one thing this game does, which I find quite amusing, is it plays the film songs out of order. So we had Prince Ali earlier, and now we've got One Jump Ahead, or One Step Ahead. I can't remember the name of the song because I haven't seen the film in years. Pretty sure it's One Jump Ahead. So later on we also hear the very first song that's introduced in the film. But yeah, this game takes liberties with how the songs are used, but I don't mind. It works in this game's favour. So let's pick up this flute, and that activates this. Throw as many apples as possible. Grab another gem, grab another flute. And then more enemies to kill. Apples are your best friend in this game. They're actually better than the sword in many ways. So always prioritise getting as many apples as you can, and you'll be fine. See if I can kill this guy. I don't think I will be able to though. No, I need to get further back. There we go. I have never played the SNES version of Aladdin either. I've never played the Capcom version, and many people debate whether Aladdin is better on the Mega Drive or the SNES. And, you know, this version I'm playing now is heavily based off the Mega Drive version. Obviously, I can't really say because I've only played, you know, this particular version of the game. But it is a debate that's still ongoing even today, which says how good, which explains how good this game actually is. For a movie-based tie-in game, it's fantastic, but it is bloody brutal, and you'll see that later on whilst I'm playing. And it's actually the reason why, replaying it now, it's one of the reasons why I don't think this game stands up as well as I remember it, because I swear I played this game better when I was a kid, and I'll explain that now. When I played through The Lion King, yes, I knew a little bit too much about it when I played it, but at least with The Lion King you can avoid damage for the most part. It's actually not too... There's nothing in that game that's as brutally annoying as it is in Aladdin. Whereas Aladdin, there are times when you have to take damage, and there's times where you can't avoid taking damage because the game is just that brutal. And it's one of the reasons why I refuse to play this on difficult at the moment, because it's just too frustrating. And I don't even know if I'll complete this game, because when you get to the last stage, it gets absolutely ridiculous. But I did complete it at least once recently, so who knows, maybe I will again. But only on normal did I complete it. There was no chance I was going to do it on the hardest difficulty. We got a checkpoint there, which is lovely. But yeah, when I was a kid, I never got past this level for a variety of reasons. I'm not quite sure why, because it's actually not too hard. It's basically a repeat of level 1, but I never got beyond it for a long time. I think it was because it took on a slightly more non-linear approach. But again, I was a kid. I wasn't very good at playing games back then. There's Jaeger. Yeah, it is Jaeger, isn't it? Killed him. He appears several times in this game. And here's a boss fight, which is relatively easy to cheap out. All you have to do is just corner him here, and there you go, done. Now, which way is this going to go? Oh, good, it's going the long way. Excellent. This rope can take you one of two ways. Thankfully, it took you the longer route, but... well, it took me the longer route. Other times it will just go straight up here. And then we've got the second boss battle, which is basically just this. It's actually a really boring fight to do, but you still have to do it. So just do this a couple of times, and then it'll eventually explode, because that's what apples do to people, apparently. There you go. They say apples are good for you, but not in this game. Got an extra life, got another extra life, got a gem. Oh, there we go, that was good. So we got the scarab attached. And I'm pretty sure that first boss we killed is the character who gets killed at the very beginning of Aladdin, who Jafar hires to try and get the lamp from the Cave of Wonders. So again, the game does break a bit of rules with its storytelling compared to the film, but who cares? Let's be honest, who really cares? And now we've been arrested. Will Aladdin have a chance with the princess? Unlikely, we are in prison after all. Right, this level, it's a visually interesting level and it's very good. However, it's going to introduce one of the most annoying enemies in the entire game. The bats. I hate the bats in this game. They are really unpredictable AI wise, and they're so easy to take damage from. On difficult, these things can pretty much kill you in like 2 or 3 hits if you're not careful, because you just can't get a good attack on them. And there's a nice 3D effect here with the chain balls, very nice. And it's amazing how we're in prison, but we've still got our sword and we've still got everything we need to get to bust our way out of here. It's fantastic, because this is how prisons work in the real world. Let's jump up here. This level was a bit of a maze, but it's nothing too strenuous. You just have to pay attention. Oh, Little Mermaid tie-in there. Can't remember his name because I have barely watched The Little Mermaid. It's been years since I've watched that film. And again, there's another Mickey Mouse ears set down here. Oh, look at that dodging. Very nice. And yeah, quickly kill those skeletons, because otherwise they will explode and hurt you quite a lot. Checkpoint. Did I miss anything here? No, I did not, so that was pointless jumping back down. I know there's a peddler around here somewhere. I just can't remember where he is. And these things are normally out for about 4 seconds or so. Okay, there's the bat. And yeah, sometimes the enemy placement in this game is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how the developers got away with it, but they did. And that's what I mean. Oh, here's the peddler. I'm not going to buy anything still because I think I'll be okay for a couple of levels. No doubt I will regret that shortly, but we'll see. Okay, we need to go up this way, but I'm just going to go down here for a moment. Why I collected those apples when I should have waited until after I threw them at that guy, I don't know. And there's another bat. Come on, there you go. You wouldn't believe how much trouble these bats normally give me in this game. They're more annoying than the bats in the Lion King game, I can tell you that. I'm not quite sure what the point of the points system is in this, well, the score system, because it's not as if the scores are retained, but, you know. And that's the other thing, if you get a game over, or if you have to continue from losing all your lives, that score counter resets to 0. It's really brutal. If anyone's ever done a no damage run of this game, please tell me, because I won't believe you. Because it's really easy to take damage in this. Come on. Thank you. Okay, jump up. Come on, come back out. Thank you. Sometimes you can jump up to these other ones, but in this instance we can't. But I like this game overall, despite the fact it's brutally difficult at times and it's impossible in certain places, and you can't avoid taking damage in certain areas. But I like it. It's held up pretty well for the most part. It's just the gameplay sometimes is really suckish. And in some ways the PC version is actually harder than the Mega Drive version, because of how you lose quite a significant amount of information because the top of the screen is taken up by this HUD, which is something that irritates a lot of people, and I can understand why, because it is really obnoxious and it takes up a good chunk of the screen, and it's not really necessary, and it's not very nice to look at either, and that was a stupid idea from me there. Let's try that again. But I'm pretty sure this was the first version I ever played as a kid, and if it wasn't, then it was a more relevant piece. It was a more recent PC port, which was more faithful to the Mega Drive version, where the health was the magic lamp and everything like that. Because bizarrely, this is Aladdin has a number of versions available for it. This is back in the day when you had multiple games with the same name, but they were all very different games. Because that happened quite a lot. The Jungle Book also had something similar. The Lion King, less so. But Aladdin and the Jungle Book had slightly different games with the same name attached. That was awful. I was hoping to get a few more lives there. Oh, look, a bit of animation in the cutscenes. How fun. This is the heavily abridged version of Aladdin, in case you were wondering. And now we're in the Cave of Wonders, which in the PC/MS-DOS version has the most unfitting music possible. This is actually the music for the desert level normally in the Mega Drive version. For some reason in the PC version it's this. it's used here instead, this song. I don't understand why. So we have to destroy statues, and this level can be annoying if you don't know what you're doing. So we have to destroy loads of statues. Again, your biggest enemies in this level are going to be bats, because bats are really irritating. Oh, and that's the other difference with the difficulty settings as well. I'm pretty sure your score counter only goes up to a certain number on each difficulty, so we can't get 9999 on normal, but you can on difficult or hard. I keep saying difficult, it's because I think in more modern games they say difficult instead of hard. Okay, this bat, you stupid bat, come on. Thank you. And I took some needless damage there. And there. Let's try that again. And weirdly, you can't actually pick these things up, so you have to use your sword. Very strange design choice there. Now these statues throwing things, you don't need to destroy them, but it's just useful to do so anyway. The statues you do have to destroy are the big ones with the gems. And wow, I'm taking a lot of damage here. Okay, there's an Abu taken here, so another chance for a bonus level if I can stop taking damage. Okay, these ghosts that are on the screen right now, a little story I can tell you about those. Those ghosts used to scare me when I played this game as a kid. I don't know why, because they look absolutely ridiculous as an adult, but when I was a kid, they terrified me. So, that's a little story for you. They didn't give me nightmares necessarily, but I always found them to be really terrifying. And I know it sounds ridiculous when you're growing up, but at the time, those ghosts were the scariest things I ever saw in my life at that point. Just keep in mind I was about 5 at the time. Maybe 6. Maybe 7. I don't know. And you can't destroy these statues with the swords for some reason, so they're going to get killed by apples. There we go. Another checkpoint here. Fortunately, the game does give you quite a lot of health here. Just got to make sure I don't lose too much. Now, I am actually going to see the peddler in this secret area because I think I will buy a couple of lives. So to buy anything, you just space a couple of times. And I'll buy one... No, let's buy 2 rishes just in case. We've got more opportunities to get gems. Let's grab all the health we can. But yeah, on the hardest difficulty setting, this level was brutal. And I died a lot on the hardest difficulty. So here's another mini boss fight, which is a lot easier if you have apples to throw. With the sword, you're playing a very risky game because the pattern he uses is very inconsistent. I think he takes about 9 hits. Oh great, he got 1 attack off there. His sword attack is brutal. Okay, so the magic carpet should show up now if we can respawn him. There we go. Let's just grab the genie head, run back. Can we get health? No, because I picked it all up. The magic carpet's movements in this game are very erratic as well. Sometimes you have to jump off to like commit good attacks or to get stuff. And he shows up a couple of times in this game. He'll actually be making a prominent appearance shortly. Okay, we've got a bit of a jumping puzzle here. Okay, fortunately I didn't fall in. And if you go this way, it's actually better than going up the hill, because if you go up on the left-hand side, you've got falling rocks everywhere. Here you've got a bit of a secret area that you can go through. And there's the magic lamp. If we sword it to death, because that is a thing, the sword does pick things up somehow, we complete the level. And then this bonus level I cannot do to save my life. It's Abu in the cave. And it's basically the same as the other bonus level we played, except I'm worse at it. Okay, hide. No, see, told you I was terrible at this one. Now you will never again see the light of day. I'm pretty sure it's now you will never see the light of day again in the film. But anyway, this level gave me a lot of trouble when I was a kid. So it's a fun level to play. And I love how the PC and MS-DOS and Amiga versions of this level make this song sound. But it's really hard to play through. So there's a lot of jumping involved, a lot of platforming involved, lots of bats, which will be very annoying to deal with. And we've got loads of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark style moments with the boulders. So be prepared to see a lot of that. Be prepared, I made a Lion King pun in an Aladdin video. Well done me. Okay. Please don't die. Oh, that was so close. This level can be quite tense if you've never played it before. So here we go, another Raiders of the Lost Ark moment, this time with pits. And then we have to do this 2 or 3 times. When I was a kid, I used to die quite a lot on this level, because even if you survive the boulder first death of the run. Great. So that's our first death, and when we die, we lose all of our apples, so we're back to 10. And that's the biggest killer of this game. Losing your apples is the worst thing that can possibly happen to you as Aladdin. So we need to try and collect those back. But yeah, if you were stood here, for example, and the boulder came towards you, you'd still take damage from the boulder even though you were nowhere near it in theory. Well, the boulder would pass through you, but it still hurts you, is what I'm trying to say. I can't speak English tonight. Let's try that again, maybe. So basically, if the boulder clips through you, you will lose health. Which makes sense, but at the same time it doesn't make sense because you've outran it at that point, in my mind. But again, another part of why this game's difficulty is so brutal. And that was a terrible idea to jump then. I'm not even going to bother collecting anything here because it's not worth it. And then hopefully we don't die this time. There we go, that's what I was meant to do last time. Okay, so this way is much harder, so I don't recommend going this way. If you go up, you'll see loads of boulders falling through. So now if we run along, grab this. Oh, see, if that was the hardest difficulty, I definitely would have died then. Oh, see, and I died again. Great. This is what I mean. Even though I technically outran that boulder, I still died because it hit me through the environment, which is very cheap. And there I just barely missed it. Keep getting up to that top area. Normally I don't make it up there. It's actually really difficult to get up, but I've done it all 3 times now. Look, I'm just after my apples, man. That's what I want. The apples are the best thing you have in this game. They're the most useful, at least. And when I was a kid, I always used to fall down these pit holes, or pitfalls, because I could never remember where they were. Oh no. Okay, good. I thought I was a goner then because I accidentally ended up going the lower level. I'll grab the apples because we need those. Now, can we please not die? Because I don't want to die again. Okay, let's try that. Oh, stupid bat. See, the bats ruin you. I think this is the last stretch though, so let's try this. Okay. Be very careful when you make that last jump because sometimes the magic carpet can let you down if you overshoot the jump. Okay. Now, Rug Ride. This is the most interesting level in the game. It's probably the first time you ever play this game, it's the most difficult level to go through simply because it's super stressful. But I reckon I'll do okay at this. So the game does tell you which direction to go. And this level is what the Lion King would later do with the Stampede level. It's the most unique level of the game. And I don't know how much talking I'll do in this level because the speed will go up significantly and I need to concentrate. So if you hear me be quiet for a while, you'll know why, because the speed does go up shockingly fast. But it's a good opportunity to get our apples back, because every 4 slices we pick up, we get a full apple again. Missed the genie head there. Oh well. But this level does hurt your eyes quite significantly. Oh, I actually died. Great. Wasn't paying attention. This is why you shouldn't talk when playing through Rug Ride. Hopefully we can get enough apples back. Okay. At least we can pick up infinite lives here. Now, on the Mega Drive, I'm pretty sure if you fail this stage 3 times, the game just automatically skips you to the next level and just says, nice try. I don't think that's the case with the PC version, so I actually need to complete this. I will say, actually, the Mega Drive version of this stage has much better music, I feel, than the PC version. But other than that, it's fine. I'm not sure how much screen tearing is going on, because I don't know how noticeable it is. I haven't really commented on that, to be honest, but hopefully it's not too bad so far. And I think I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes, because I need to concentrate on this. I usually find it safer to stay down, though, for this level than up. I very rarely go up towards the end. Unless if I need to, like that. Or that. Okay, there we go, done. Sorry, that was actually quite quiet of me there. But yeah, that level can be an arse to play through. But the question marks always mean stay down, which I only realised when I was older. I didn't realise it as a kid. So now we're inside the lamp. Supposedly this level is easy, or easier. I personally disagree, and I think it's an absolute ball ache to play through. I usually find most of my deaths on this level. Like that. Okay, and I should have looked down there. That was a bit of a risky jump. So this is where Friend Like Me is played. And this is the genie-inspired level. Feels a bit acid trippy. But it's a fun level to play through when it's not doing its usual annoyances. Fortunately, the arrows do tell you where to go. I do like the rendition of Friend Like Me in this level, though. That's the best thing about it. Okay, we do need more apples, so I am actually going to pick those up. As long as I don't die here, I should be fit for the rest of the game, hopefully. Now, if I just stay on this for a bit, we get our navigation puzzle, which is the equivalent of the Lion King's waterfall puzzle from Hakuna Matata. And that was a very posh pronunciation of Hakuna Matata from me there, and I just did it again. I'm very posh tonight, apparently. Although every comparison I make to the Lion King is a little bit ridiculous, considering this came out before the Lion King did. But again, I'm saying it as if the Lion King came out first, simply because I played the Lion King more than Aladdin. Landed directly on the checkpoint there, very good. Oh, we missed the peddler. Not that we needed to see him. I really hope I don't die on this level, because I would hate to have to collect all the apples again. And if you were playing this game on the hardest difficulty, you'd only have 5 apples every time you die, which is really unfortunate. Let's jump back. Okay, there's no more there. Okay, these hands can be really annoying if you don't know what you're doing. Let's wait for this to come back around and then jump. The fact that you lose a lot of this information from the screen also doesn't help. And these 3 hands here, I'm a bit annoyed they've decided to spawn this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can jump up. Sometimes all of the hands will resize themselves automatically. Other times they'll do a 2 and 1 deal like there. And sadly they took the 2 and 1 deal. Oh, see, this level can be quite scary at points. Okay, let's jump over here. Okay, this hand here, annoyingly on the PC version, you can't reach that other hand, so you have to sort of force yourself up here. And I hate the fact that these jumps are so risky compared to what they should normally be. And then this bit can be a pain as well. And there we go, managed to do that without any deaths. I'm so grateful for that. Because normally I have loads of deaths in that level, and I've skipped the cutscene, damn it. I think I was so happy at the fact I completed that level without any deaths. So on the hardest difficulty setting, because I died so often on the previous level, I'd only have 5 apples here. And it would be impossible to do this because of how much force damage you end up taking. And that's my biggest problem with Aladdin. The Lion King, you can at least avoid most of the damage if you know how to play it. In this, it's really difficult to avoid. See, stuff like that as well. You have to be a god almost to avoid most of the damage in the later stages. But for those of you who wanted to see the cutscene, I apologise for skipping that. Okay, I'm going to have to take some damage there and there. One more hit and I'm definitely dead, so I might actually die here, which would be really unfortunate if I do. There you go, see? And now I've only got 10 apples, and I really need more than 10. For various reasons. So stupid fish. It's the fish that ruin everything. And yeah, you go. You idiot. Okay, we did a little bit of matrix dodging there. Less so here. Okay, 2 hits and I'm dead. So what I might do is actually jump off at the balcony just to save some damage. Okay, that's what I should have done last time. And now that we've got our high score, which is 9999,99990, we can't get anything higher than that. And what I desperately need are apples. I'm really annoyed I lost out the opportunity to get apples. Well, I lost the opportunity to have a really infinite amount of apples because they would have been useful for the end game. Somehow I missed one. If I was smart, I wouldn't be using them here, but I kind of need to. Although ducking and stabbing is actually quite overpowered in places. And those enemies that we just killed there are pretty useless. But if need be, I can always speak to the peddler and get loads of free stuff. Okay, do you respawn? Because I get the impression you probably do. Or maybe not. Now here you'll take loads of force damage, which I think is absolute bullshit. You shouldn't have to take damage like that, because I think that's absolutely ridiculous, and it's one of the reasons why I don't think this game has held up very well in certain places. Because unlike The Lion King, because people debate whether Aladdin or The Lion King was the harder Virgin published Disney game, and I would, playing it from today's standards, I would say this is much harder, because at least The Lion King doesn't make you take damage for no reason whatsoever, whereas this does. Okay, if we can just get in range, there we go. I actually think it's easier to take damage in the DOS version as well, because normally it's not as insane on the Mega Drive version. Because the Mega Drive, I think it's only if your sword comes into contact with the enemies, whereas in this version, it's if you're basically if you're a pixel close to them, you're pretty much gonna lose health like that. Although that was damage I could have avoided, so I'll be honest there. Basically, I just want apples at this point. And again, more force damage that I can't avoid. But at least they give you health back to make up for it. It's a bit of a shame you can't control the magic carpet, because this would make this a lot easier, and the movements are erratic. I'm not quite sure why anyone would move like this in real life, but oh well. Okay, grab the apples. Okay, Abu is trapped, a bit random, but we're going to rescue him anyway, because I don't think you can go anywhere if you don't rescue him. And here's the peddler, so we can actually afford quite a bit here. 2 lives will be good, and the rest can be riches. I don't know why I'm buying so many riches, I don't trust myself at this point. Spike trap there, that's really bad interior design. I'm not quite sure what the Sultan was thinking of by putting spikes right underneath the... right underneath that. Okay, quickly kill him, and there we go, level complete. Good. And JAFAR'S Quarters is the most pointless level in this game. It's just a boss battle with Jaeger. It's really pointless, but we're going to do it anyway because we have to. And then these ghosts have made a return for no reason whatsoever, and I'm taking way too much damage here for no reason whatsoever because I'm not concentrating. Okay, fine. Apples it is then. I'm gonna stand back a little bit. Can't believe you're making me waste apples on Diego. Oh, there we go. Good. I'm definitely not skipping this cutscene. I feel really bad that I skipped the other one. And JAFAR'S Palace. This is the last level. We've actually got through this game surprisingly quickly. And we've got a remix of the earlier music from the first lava level. And it actually sounds really good here. I think this music is different on the Mega Drive. On the Mega Drive version anyway. Kill you. Okay, I'm taking way too much damage here. I also desperately need apples, because apples are what I need for the final boss fight. And it's actually safer to just stay at the top for this level for the most part. Now, one annoying thing about this level on the PC version is flames will just randomly erupt on certain platforms, and I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen on any other version, so be very careful here. And I just took some damage there because I'm an idiot. Let's grab some health. I literally couldn't complete this level on the hardest difficulty, which is the reason why I'm playing it on normal. Oh, you arsehole. Wasn't paying attention. Same with you. Taking a lot of unnecessary damage here. Because of how short this video appears to be, in comparison to the Lion King version that I did last year, I may have to piece in some of the failed takes from my other recordings when I try to do this game. That's assuming I complete it. I could still fail very badly. Okay. Let's go up. There's the peddler again. It's a shame he can't grant us more apples, because that would be useful. Although 40 should be enough, assuming I don't die here. Okay, these statues are being... Okay, that's one of them dealt with. I really need health badly, which is the really annoying thing. Okay, that's my strategy for dealing with these statues. Just move a pixel to the left or the right and then kill them. Oh, one more hit and I'm dead. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose a life in a moment because there's some flames on these next... Oh, I just died that way. Okay, so we're back to 10 apples, unfortunately. I don't think we'll gather enough for the final boss, which is really irritating. More force damage. Oh, that was my bad. Let's try that again. Basically, you have to play this level almost perfectly in order to win. And also, Aladdin has this weird movement pattern as well. Like, he moves a lot faster when he starts getting momentum. It's a very weird mechanic. I'm not really sure if I've seen it in other games. I probably have, but I can't think of them off the top of my head right now. Okay, some of these later platforms will probably set me on fire, if I remember correctly. Or, like, there you go, see? Random flames. That's just taken 2 of my health. Do lots of stabby, stabby, stabby. But fortunately the game gives you some health up here, which is very nice. Back to full health. Sadly the sword doesn't reach quite this far. Try and kill as many enemies as we can, assuming they don't respawn. Alright, this is the last checkpoint. Okay, I don't want the magic carpet yet. I want to kill some enemies. It's a shame they don't give you some apples for killing them, because that would have been really useful. Right, now this next bit will either be very quick or it will take me an absolute age to complete. And it's this is the main reason why I've bought those continues. Because this boss fight is an absolute pain in the arse to do. Especially on the PC version. It seems easier to do on the Mega Drive. So here's Jafar. And what you need to do is throw apples at him whilst he does this stupid spammy attack, which brings you closer to him. When he stops doing it, that's when you throw apples at him. Otherwise stuff like that happens. I usually find that just running away from him for a bit usually helps. Okay. No. And also, I swear his spell lasts longer on the PC version compared to normal. And that's the other thing as well. I'm not sure who's playing Jafar in the Guy Ritchie remake. I haven't actually checked for a while what the status of the Aladdin live action remake is. Oh, and here we go, he's the snake again. Well, he's the snake finally. So the best strategy that seems to happen is if I just stab him a few times and then hope I don't die. Oh, I died, okay. But fortunately the game does go slightly lenient with you here, and Jafar should still be a snake by the time I get back around to him. We'll see. The game's not that evil, thankfully. Oh, I missed some health. Damn it. Okay. Drop me back down, please, magic carpet. Yep, Jafar's the snake. Good. Oh, come on. Stab loads of times and hopefully kill him before I die. No. Damn it. Okay. We've still got 6 lives, so we can do it this way, I think. I probably should throw apples at him, but I'm not going to. I love how these guards are just serving Jafar as well, as if they can see nothing wrong with him whatsoever. We'll try the apple throwing strategy, and I love how the statues are throwing their things again because they're not dead now. Assuming the apples can reach, I don't think they can. Oh, maybe they can. Okay, we've run out, so stab. Please die. This worked for me last time. There we go, done it. Okay. If we were playing this on the hardest difficulty setting, there's no way that strategy would have worked. I would have had to have played for every level perfectly. Sadly, A Whole New World doesn't play on this version of the game when you complete it like it does in the Mega Drive version. But well done, young prince. We're done. That's Aladdin. A game I used to love a lot as a kid. As an adult, I still like it, but it annoys me at the same time. Because of a lot of stuff that just shouldn't happen. And yeah, this version was released later than the console versions, as you can tell by the copyright date. So yeah, back in the day I used to play this on my Windows 95 and Windows 98 PCs, along with The Lion King, and then later on The Jungle Book, which I am going to play at some point. I don't know when, but I will play it at some point. Because those 3 games were pretty much my, main games as a kid. Before I moved on to non-Disney related games. So I am looking forward to the Guy Ritchie live action Aladdin remake, and the thing I'm most interested in is Will Smith playing the genie. Now, I don't think anybody else can play the genie the same way Robin Williams did, but I do think that there's Dave Perry, the gaming genius that we know as Dave Perry. I still don't know if anybody else can play the genie the same way Robin Williams did, but Will Smith is a good substitute for him. And there we go. That's Aladdin. Completed on the normal difficulty. So who knows, maybe one day I'll have to try and replay this on hard, see if I can do it. But I don't want to give myself high blood pressure just yet. I'll wait till I'm a bit older and a bit wiser. So hopefully the live action version of Aladdin by Guy Ritchie will be good. I am looking forward to it when it comes out next year, but we don't know at the moment whether it's going to be good or bad, and yet the same credits are playing again. But I want it to be good. If it's as good as what the live action Jungle Book adaptation was like, then it'll be amazing. If it's like the Beauty and the Beast live action remake, then I'll be less impressed. But I think it was because with the Jungle Book, I liked the original film, but I never loved it, whereas Beauty and the Beast I loved, so therefore I was always going to be harsher to that remake compared to the Jungle Books. but I'm really cautious about The Lion King and Aladdin when it comes to live action remakes, because again, two of my favourite Disney films ever made, and I want them to do well, but at the same time there could always be that potential issue with them. And there's also another Jungle Book live action adaptation coming out this year, the Andy Serkis film Mowgli, which I really want to see. I hope that that's also really good, because in my head I can see it as a spiritual sequel to the live action Jungle Book, and I know it's not, because it's separate production teams, separate directors, separate cast and crew, but I do want to see it because I want it to be good. And I can't remember if Andy Serkis has directed anything before, and if he has, then I apologise, but this will be my introduction to him directing a film. So we're just going to let the demo play whilst I'm talking randomly. But Guy Ritchie is a good director. For the Aladdin remake, he should be somebody who's suitable for that project and that production. But I do need to rewatch Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch again, because those two films are incredible. Snatch I prefer just because it's the less... so there's the demo playing. Let's see how the testers do. The demo... Not the demo, what am I saying? The Snatch is the more light-hearted remake of Lock, Stock, I feel. It's a lot more tongue-in-cheek than Lock, Stock, which was played a lot more seriously. And I think that was the reason why I prefer Snatch, just because it was so ridiculous in many ways. But it might be biased talking, because I saw Snatch before I ever saw Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. And there's the demo done. So, again, hopefully Aladdin's live-action adaptation will be good. And I shall see you again shortly. At some point I will be playing the Jungle Book again through the PC and MS-DOS version. And this was the PC MS-DOS version of Aladdin played through Good Old Games. And one thing I forgot to mention with this is the amount of loopholes I had to go through to get this game running at a good resolution and also make it playable. I had to mess around with sound settings because the game's soundtrack was far too loud for my voice to be heard over it. Getting it in full screen was another problem I had. And what else was there? When I first downloaded it, or installed it rather, the game kept crashing when it was on full screen, so then I had to turn full screen off, and then I had to manually adjust the resolution to get it working. Then I had to mess around with the sound. Then I had to mess around with the control scheme, because I had to re-familiarise myself with the game. And yeah, it took me at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to get this ready to record. And I've got several failed recordings of when I tried to play this on the hardest difficulty setting. And I might put some of those in, I don't know. If I do decide to put them in, I'll just tag bits of them at the end. And you'll see why I failed and why I sucked so badly at those particular runs. I only got up to the Cave of Wonders in those attempts, because I was less familiar with the game at that point. And also I tried to bind my jump key to D, which was a huge mistake, because what was it? The D key was locking up, so Aladdin wasn't jumping properly like he should have done. And I'm pretty sure this is the same demo again. So that inspired me to clean my keyboard out, and when you leave your keyboard to pick up about 2 or 3 years worth of dirt and grime, it does affect how the keyboard works. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it there for now. Can we skip this? Yes, we can. I've rambled enough tonight, and I've had a lot of fun playing Aladdin for you all. I shall see you next time with a completely different game. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.